Since you are also an independent researcher, so working full time as a cloud engineer, also doing independent research, sound quite tough for my part. So I want to know, how do you balance them both?
Mainly during the work hours, mainly my work starts around 6 o'clock. I try to be working around 11 during my lunch time and after hours. So whatever I work as a full-time engineer, I try to leverage whether I can do some kind of research analysis.
Tools. Like, what kind of tools and practices do you use to keep your data safe?
One thing, when I'm building the applications, I make sure I have identity and access management. So, which is nothing but implementing single sign-on authentication for all the
So the thing
applications.
is,
So,
I have recently joined Thapar Summer School 2025 program, which basically focused on AI and ML. So I want to know, what are your thoughts about this program?
and to
And
to get 100% benefit from these summer courses, so we always you guys need to always keep in mind, rather than like mainly theoretical applications, try to be like more focused on practical applications, like try to build like real time as I mentioned, the real one of the real time applications, real time applications is like inventory management system, like lifetime problems.
hello everyone, my name is Roopan. I have just completed my master's in from Thapar University, Patiala. Today, the topic of our podcast is cloud engineering and AI. And to enhance our knowledge on this topic, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Chaitanya Gunupudi, who is an independent researcher as well as an IT platform senior cloud engineer at the University of Maryland Research Center, USA. Today, he will help us explore cloud engineering and artificial intelligence and how these two come together in the real world engineering. So, since he has over 10 years of hand-on experience in cloud system and AI, he will help us understand how these technologies and work and shape the future. So, without any further delay, let's start with the interview. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, thanks for asking.
Thank you for joining us for the session. So, without any further delay, I'm going to start with the session. So, my first, before anything else, I just want to know that what actually inspired you to go for cloud engineering in the very first place. I just want to know how you started your journey in the very first time.
So, my journey started after my bachelor degree. I came to United States to pursue masters in 2015. So, and I completed my master's in information system technology, and I also done another master's in cybersecurity. So, most like when I'm pursuing my master's in like information system technology, I found that the cloud environment is the best bet to go, because at the time AWS was investing a lot on the Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft and Google were very initial stages at the time. So on many, like the cloud engineering is nothing but just moving data from on premises to the cloud environment, so that we could able to, rather than wasting like most of the budgets, so we'll be restricted to some kind of budgets and restrictions, and it will be very useful. And main including with that, so for the fast, so initially when I'm pursuing the my masters, and also the cloud engineering was crucial factor. And when I'm trying to go into the cloud engineering, you need to have a proper certification, because as I don't have much experience, you need to have a proper certifications. And I was trying to build portfolio at the time. So when I'm trying to build a portfolio, so the certifications played a very critical role, such as like AWS has cloud architect, and Google has cloud practitioner, and many kinds of certifications. I was specialized in. And when I was building the cloud engineering, so and I thought that the cybersecurity also plays a very critical role, because right now the cyber attacks is happening everywhere. So when you are building applications, the cybersecurity is more important. And when it comes to AI, right now, AI is very, very important. So having these three skills, like cloud engineering plus cybersecurity plus AI, is more important. So my journey started with cloud engineering. Then I went to cybersecurity. Right now, right now I'm working in the University of Maryland Research Center, like mainly with the portions of AI implementation for all the departments and making sure leveraging more AI skills. Yeah. And also one thing is the cloud engineering is nothing about, it's not about the current solutions. It's about building system that evolves for tomorrow inventions, and you need to make sure the security and reliance is more important when you're building the cloud engineering concepts.
Since you are also an independent researcher, so working full time as a cloud engineer, also doing independent research, sound quite tough for my part. So I want to know, how do you balance them both?
Yeah, that's a good question. And to start with, research is always my passion, and it always keep me focused on emerging technologies and allow me to dive deeper into the complex problems. So rather than just developing projects as a full-time engineer. So as a full-time engineer, I have a like task like start date and end date, some of the Jira tasks to complete. So rather than that, this research analysis gives me more idea as an independent researcher, gives me a privilege of conducting like more research analysis and sharing insights, and when I sharing insight with other departments and other organizations. So one main thing is when I'm developing, and if I have some idea, I try to publish, and I try to attend conferences, and like through different conferences. And as you said, managing both is very crucial, like very critical task. But I found that mainly during the work hours, mainly my work starts around 6 o'clock. I try to be working around 11 during my lunchtime and after hours. So whatever I work as a full-time engineer, I try to leverage whether I can do some kind of research analysis. Research analysis is nothing but mainly sometimes it will be a theory documentation, and it will be analyzing like what could be further done so that you can provide some publications and papers. So that is main important. And as I'm working in the research center, it is one of my benefit, as I could able to talk with many research developers, scientists, and many organizations in and around the campus. And mainly this both as a full-time engineer and research development gives a like both synergy, like a relationship where both roles give strengthen each other. Also dedicate weekends and evenings, and I have very intentional about that. Yeah. And main thing is I don't feel like research is an additional burden. It is like just an integral part of my full-time work. Yeah.
Since you have been in research and everything, so it might be possible you have come across a number of large AI projects. So I want can you share one such project with us as well that you find extremely challenging?
Yeah, that's it. That's also, yeah. Another, yeah, as most of my works involves infrastructure. Infrastructure is nothing but it's completely background of what users see, and we come up with everyday like many day-to-day operations. We have like many problems, and recently, and as my applications is responsible for state organizations, federal organizations, and research organizations. And upgrading and patching is very difficult for the infrastructure side, because a few minutes of downtime is yeah, could able to disrupt many applications. So recently, like when I was building some application like business tool, so there was some downtime happened, which is like 45 to 1 hour, and many organizations got disrupted due to this disruption. So mainly to avoid this kind of disruptions in the future and analysis, the some of the key challenges you need to make sure is you need to document everything. So documentation is very crucial factor. You need to make sure the reverse engineering, you need in your documentation there is always a reverse engineering taken place, and also creating comprehensive progress when you are reviewing the task and updating the task. And the second thing is you need to make sure the stakeholder communication is crucial. So when you are dealing with day-to-day challenges, so briefing how your research analysis was done and making sure you are integrating with other IT staff members, and you need to have a proper interaction end to end user so that you could able to reduce the disruptions from the day-to-day challenges. And also when you're building the stuff, you need to make sure 30 to 40% of build time, so in the project timeline. So if some kind of disruptions and the key challenges have happened, this 30 to 40% buffer time in your task could able to resolve like many things mainly. And also like building a production like environments also like also simplifies this kind of challenges. Uh, and also testing actual data could able to reduce the key challenges in the day-to-day operations.
That was quite informative. So, moving forward, I want to ask, you have already mentioned as well, research data do involve wide security rules and privacy rules. So, how do you make your cloud system follow those rules? Like, what kind of tools and practices do you use to keep your data safe?
So yeah, as previously I was mentioning, so that is why as you clicked the right question. So as we mentioned, that the security, compliance, and privacy is very important. As I was mentioning before, also when you are developing the stuff, the three things which you mentioned is very important. So due to that only I work like when I was developing my applications, I make sure there will be some kind of threats might happen and some kind of injections might happen. So you need to always keep in mind when you're building these applications, you need to make sure all this might happen, because if it happens, it could disrupt many things. So before it happens, you need to keep in mind these kind of things. And one thing, when I'm building the applications, I make sure I have identity and access management. So, which is nothing but implementing single sign-on authentication for all the applications. So, recently, so from past few months onwards, I was building the unified AI chatbot. So, and this chatbot I usually talk with many other department. We have like many other department. Right now, this unified chatbot is built with 12 department. So when an user try to log in, so he need to provide single sign authentication, and we need to using this SSO credentials only, he could able to log into the chatbot and he could able to retrieve all these details. So making sure you have a single sign authentication take place, and you need to make sure the integrated security policies from your development to deployment. You need to make sure all kind of security policies are integrated in development to deployment. And whenever, because as I have a research data, so much of the research data already integrated with many compliance like such as FERPA, HIPAA for health research, and specific federal requirements for funded research. So developing mainly these applications and concentrating all these compliance is very important. And also you need to have a like proper core integrated monitoring system like CloudWatch and Splunk. And whenever something happens, whenever someone tries to when users try to log in, when users try to exit out, and all kinds of operations need to get logged in a centralized logging system, so that if something happens in the future, so we need to make sure all things are get logged, and we need to get those details sooner or later before some disruptions might happen. So
That's a lot to learn, I must say. So, my next question may move forward to the young engineers only. So, we all know that in today's world, young engineers dream of working in top companies from all around the world. So, my question for you is, what, according to your experience, are the major skills and mindset that might help them to get their dream jobs?
yep. So from my mainly right now, mm, uh, the technologies are changing a lot. So one thing I could say that don't chase the technologies and trend. Try to build a try to build a solid fundamentals in core concepts like networking, security principles, and system design and problem solving methodologies, and all kinds of core concepts need to have foundation, because right now AI is previously it was cloud concept. Right now AI concept. Future it might be quantum concept. So the concepts might be changing, but the core fundamentals is mostly the same. How we are leveraging and how we are interacting with users, how we are able to retrieve the data, and how we are projecting the data. So we need to make sure the core concepts are very important. And the second thing I can say is developing a cross functional skills. So learn to communicate ethical concepts to non-stakeholders, and understanding proper business requirements and translating them into a proper technical solutions in what, like, mainly good engineers from exceptional engineers. The big difference, how you are leveraging the proper communication skills.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Moving to my next question. Since you've been so involved in cloud and AI technology throughout your career, I want to know what, according to you, uh, are the new tools or trends in AI as well as in cloud that are going to influence the market in the tech world, basically, in the coming few years?
So, as yeah, that was, yeah, one of the like ongoing trending questions. And based upon my experience and with all these concepts, so with the cloud engineering and cybersecurity and AI stuff, so rather than building the stuff right now, in the future, I think when we are building AI development, we need to make sure it should be trustworthy by the users. There will be like we need to make more focused on designing, developing, and deploying and modeling the AI LLMs, and make sure that promote the trustworthiness and transparency. So when you're so the data which are getting from the AI or LLMs, you need to make sure the data is proper trustworthy. So usually the LLM models assume themselves the hallucinations takes place. So making sure try to reduce as much as um, hallucinations hallucinations, and mainly try to investigate different kinds of mechanisms to build the proper AI developments. And also one thing is, when you're building applications, try to integrate this AI resources in your daily applications. I mean, like having a proper interconnected ecosystem between the applications will I mean, it could able to reduce many problems in your day-to-day life. And the third thing I can say is, right now the future is AI should be more integrated with the education transformation, because right now as I'm working in the education and research center, so there are like many use cases and many research analysis need to be performed and need to be personalized for the education transformation, such as like student services and feedback services, and the interaction between the professors and students. We need to have proper AI technologies and to get the reports of the students, and making sure like the AI applications need to analyze what student is using and what are the developments need to be performed for the student to grow in his career. So this kind of AI personalized systems need to be more developed in AI technologies. And I also right now the AI technologies are mainly integrated with the IT industries, but there are like many industries where this kind of AI technologies need to be leveraged, like healthcare, educational, and as I mentioned, educational, aerospace, and manufacturing. There are like as many as use cases are performed, and these kind of AI technologies need to be developed. And recently, like I would like to give an example is like, so last week, my dad owns a like a cement business, and he has a problem like inventory management system. So we don't have a proper inventory management system. So that is one of the daily life problems. And using these AI technologies, I just build out the inventory management system. Maybe just like within a 1 day or 1.5 day, I could able to build a proper inventory management system. So what I mean to say is, try to see what kind of daily problems you have and build an AI applications and project and improve your portfolio. So have as build as many think as many as daily problems and try to build an AI applications and make sure you talk with your professors, students, colleagues, and everything, and try to get as many as use cases for the AI to resolve, because we need AI to resolve like many things. So try to come up with as many as problems and build applications top of those.
Thank you so much, sir, for the views. So, coming to my last question for today. So, the thing is, I have recently joined Thapar Summer School 2025 program, which basically focused on AI and ML. So, I want to know what are your thoughts on this program, and what is the advice you would like to give students like me if we want to, in case we want to grow more in the case of AI.
Yep. So I would like to congratulate all you guys. So usually in summer we go to hometowns and just spend some time. But rather than that, you guys are like doing proper AI ML summer courses, which is very first step, which you has taken place. And to get 100% benefit from these summer courses, so you guys need to always keep in mind, rather than like mainly theoretical applications, try to be like more focused on practical applications. Like try to build like real time as I mentioned, the real one of the real time applications is like inventory management system, like lifetime problems. So try to build like real time applications and the problems which you see around you. Try to build applications and build your portfolio. And also having a building a strong portfolio is more important. So try to attend as many as conferences. Try to publish some kind of conference papers, and try to research on the topics which you are more interested. And and st- try and embrace like mainly continuous learning. So mainly the field of AI ML evolves rapidly. Using this summer school as your foundation, try to but commit to ongoing learning through. But rather than sticking to the summer courses, try to have like many online courses, research papers, and proper community management. And always network and collaboration is always great. Try to have a proper network with your fellow students and instructors. And the relationship you build during this intensive programs can able to lead the future collaborations and proper career opportunities after these summer programs. And good luck for all your summer school. Yeah.
Thank you so much, for, sir, for your time. It was actually a very informative session with you. Thank you. We are,
Yeah, thank you for inviting me for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm so happy to share my experiences with you guys, and which will be able to build your future opportunities. Yeah.
thank you so much, sir.